In my humble opinion, the three best stocks to invest in are Google, Amazon, and Tesla. Here's why. Google is an excellent stock to invest in because they might have some of the they own the company called Waymo, and Waymo does. Google might have the best self-driving cars in the industry in a few years, and Google is investing more money in artificial intelligence than any other company is. Google is investing more in AI than any other company. They make more money off advertising revenue than maybe I guess every other company on the internet except for maybe Facebook. But Facebook is like a one website thing. But Google makes more money off advertising. Google is a fast growing company. YouTube is growing very quickly every year. Eventually, YouTube is going to be the biggest. Well, it's already the biggest video provider in the world, and eventually, YouTube is going to be a lot bigger than it is now. People are going to say, "Well, what do you watch on YouTube instead of what do you watch on TV?" But Google makes a lot of money off advertising revenue. And Google is just going to be a very well-run company for a long time. It grows a lot every year. I know it's expensive. All three of these stocks are expensive. I'm not saying they're not expensive, but the thing to keep in mind is if you want the best stocks, you just get like a portion of it. If let's say the stock costs like I don't know what it costs, like $2,000, then if you invest $10, say you only have $10 to invest, so you just buy a $10 share of that $2,000 share of Google. So what you would have is, what is that? 10 out of 2,000. That's like what, 2%. You would own 2% of a share of Google, or that's not the exact number, but it's around. Say you invest $10 in Google, you'd own 2% of a share of Google. That's much better than owning owning a whole share of GameStop, or a whole share of Nokia, or a whole share of one of these cheap stocks that people buy that aren't very good. People buy cheap stocks that aren't very good for no reason. Really, what they should be buying are good stocks that you get a fraction of, that are going to be running the world already, and they will be running the world for the foreseeable future. We live in an oligarchy, believe it or not. Big corporations run the world, and Google is one of those corporations that run the world. And it's important to invest in companies like that, because if you want to own part of the thing about the oligarchy is you can own part of it, and you can make a lot of money off it because it's going to grow so quickly. Someday they're going to have dividends. When they stop growing, they're going to have dividends someday. But they make a lot of money, and they're going to own artificial intelligence. They're going to own the AI sector. They're going to own self-driving cars. They own YouTube, which I'm a big believer in YouTube. YouTube's a great company. Anyway, so on to the next stock, Amazon. Amazon has close to a monopoly on e-commerce. I wouldn't call it a monopoly because there's also Walmart and a million other little companies that also do well in e-commerce, but Amazon does do very well in e-commerce. They also have web services. Amazon's a very good company. They also own Twitch, if you like Twitch like me, twitch.tv. Anyways, but I don't know how long that's going to go for, but they might sell that to somebody. But anyways, Amazon is an extremely profitable company. It grows very fast it does so well in e-commerce. It's an obvious investment because you want companies that grow, and Amazon's one of the fastest growing companies. It's a very expensive stock. It's probably at like $3,000 or something right now. I haven't checked it recently, but I'm just telling you companies I would invest in if I had the money. I don't have the money, to be honest with you, but you should invest in Google, Amazon, and Tesla if you do have the money. And then Amazon is just everyone buys things from Amazon now, and people will buy more things through shopping online in the future. They won't go to the store as much. Eventually, self-driving cars will just ship everything to you, and you don't have to go anywhere to buy anything. Eventually, the online shopping experience is going to be even better than it is now, because You're going to have virtual reality 3D environments where you're going to be able to see luxury items in 3D, and you're going to be able to touch, not, I don't know, touch them, but you're going to be able to experience them in real time. And it's going to get a lot better in the very near-term future. So Amazon does very well in that sphere. The third company is Tesla. You should invest in Tesla because they actually care about the environment, and companies that care about the environment are going to do better than companies that don't care about the environment, because investors talk to their portfolio managers and they're like, listen, buddy, I want you to invest in companies that are actually helping the world and making the world a better place and not making the world a worse place. I know Tesla has problems. I know they're not perfect. I know the batteries are bad. The batteries aren't really recycled, but the batteries are going to get better. The batteries for Tesla are going to improve every year. They're going to get better at producing them in a more ecological way. They're a company that cares about the environment, and electric cars are one of the most important ways we're going to fight climate change. And if you care about climate change, you should invest in Tesla because it's a company that actually wants to fight against climate change, and electric cars are very important in the battle against climate change. They also believe in self-driving cars, which I also believe in. Tesla cares about the environment. That's why they're doing very well. That's why Elon Musk is now the richest man in the world, because he cares about the environment. And you want companies that share your values of who you are as a person, and I care about the environment, so I would invest in Tesla and they're growing so much because they're actually trying to make the world a better place, which is rare. Most companies don't give a crap about the rest of the world, and they just try to extract as much resources as they can and produce as many widgets as they can. But no, Tesla actually, they care about money too. Obviously, I'm sure Elon loves being rich, but he They want to reduce CO2 emissions, which is an important concept for a company to have. Okay, thank you for watching. Those are the 3 stocks to invest in: Google, Amazon, and Tesla. I think I summed it up as best as I could. Another point I wanted to make is you want to invest in big, good companies versus small, crappy companies. Penny stocks are pennies for a reason. Okay, penny stocks don't do very well. If you ever watch The Wolf of Wall Street, there's guys that just eat people alive who invest in penny stocks. You don't want to invest in penny stocks because they're cheap, and you can own a bunch of shares of them for really cheap, but they're not well-run companies. They're not going to do well in the future, and you want to invest in the biggest of the big companies because they're going to be there 100 years from now. Or say you're making an investment for 20 years. You want a company that's going to be there 20 years from now. You want to make investments that's going to grow for the next 20 years. I believe in value investing more than technical. I believe in fundamental analysis more than technical analysis. So I believe investing in companies that have good values and have dominance. I want a company that has dominance in the market, unless they're like Chipotle or something where they're gaining dominance, and maybe Chipotle will be bigger than McDonald's in 20 years. I don't know, but you want companies who are going to be dominant, and you want a piece of that dominance because that's how you make money. That's how you grow your portfolio. Okay, thank you. That's it. So Google, Amazon, Tesla, because they're growing and because they're strong and because I believe in the products they're creating, and you should believe in their products too because they're really good. They make really good stuff. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.